my dad passed away. And after he got up in age, a little bit, he needed some care, and I was there for him like he was there for me.
Yes, I have been a caregiver. I was a caregiver for my mother, who passed away in 1995. I was her caregiver for several years. She had dementia, which progressively gets worse. She was 83 years old when she passed away. And later on, I was also caregiver for my dad, who passed away in 1997, but he wasn't as bad as my mother. In later years, I had to caregive for my sister who had dementia, three brothers who had dementia, and finally my husband, who was very ill. After I retired, I took care of him for 3.5 years before he passed away, doing kidney dialysis at home. He had a trach and other things, so I was a caregiver for him, and I just know the ropes for caregiving.
Yes, I am a family caregiver. I cared for my dad until he passed away at age 87. Dad had Parkinson's disease for 28 years, and my mother also had many strokes and died at age 89 from multiple strokes. Dad was self-employed, which meant that Social Security for him meant he had to pay in 13% of his salary. But he thought that was so important, and the promise and the guarantee from the government of a Social Security. And he worked until age 70 and then started drawing his retirement. And his Social Security after age 70 made a difference in the life that he and connection he had with his grandchildren.
My dad was a very special person. He was a World War II veteran, and so he had things set in his own ways. But I thank God for the opportunity to have been there to provide the things that he needed. Caregiving is definitely an experience. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of wisdom. It takes a lot of prayer. We made sure he had different little projects to work on. And so this sort of brought back some of the memories and some of the things that he needed. So as a caregiver, one of the main things I can say is that make sure that you have patience and you're kind, you understand them, and try to put yourself in their place.
My mother had a stroke at the brain. She was diabetic, and she stayed in the hospital for a while. She came home. The day she came home from the hospital was the day that my job closed. So I thank God for that. I didn't have to worry about working and try to take care of my mother. We had always said my mother would never go in a nursing home. Everything she needed. But to be a caregiver, you got to have patience. You got to have patience, and you got to have love for this. You got to be a lover of people to be a caregiver. And for me to tell you, if you got patience and you got God on your side, you got everything you need, especially if you got AARP in the mix.
Yes, I've been a caregiver. I was actually a caregiver for my mom. And the tips I have are to really pay attention. Don't take anything or any time that you have with that person for granted. To listen to what they're talking to you about and inquiries that they're making, ask them questions, and really pay attention to what they're telling you.
Yes, I was a family caregiver. I cared for my mother, who was 92 years old with dementia and Alzheimer, and I cared for my sister, who was 75, that had cancer. And I brought both of them into my home, and it was rewarding and time consuming. Just had to pray and work with them and try to remember the good days. I enjoy doing it, and it has been quite a responsibility, but I appreciate being able to be a help and to care for others who are in need.
I have had many people in my family that needed care, and I volunteered in some manner.